Good afternoon. My name is Rachel Appleton and I am the Gain Food Business Advisor here at eFactor Business. This afternoon, we are joined by Miles Shaw from, well, you'll know him predominantly from the GCW, Grimsby Carpet Warehouse. Good afternoon, Miles.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, thank you very much. You say you might recognise me. People actually don't necessarily even know me, but they think, oh, you're one of the Carpet Boys, whoever Carpet Boys may be.
They certainly do.
They necessarily know who I am, but yeah.
They've seen you and your brothers on those posters around the town.
Yeah, which we're trying to slowly move away from. I'm sure in a short period of time it'll be a distant memory.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, it will.
So Miles, tell us a little bit more about yourself and your business, because you've got quite an interesting history, haven't you?
Yeah, so business-wise, GCW, it started in 1945. It was my great-grandfather and my great-uncle. It was called the Continental Carpet Company, so I'm told, and then changed over to Grimsby Carpet Company. My father came over from Hull in 1975, bought the business for £3,000 from his uncle, and he changed it to Grimsby Carpet Warehouse. That was based on Freeman Street, and then soon moved over to Nelson Street, did a lot of publicity stunts, worked really well, got known, also got a reputation of being a bit of a clown, his words, not mine. But yeah, there was advertising in the Grimsby Telegraph back in the day was a lot of money, and he would try and, I guess, being an entrepreneur, trying to get his name out there, and had a fire in about 1980s, I believe, total destruction, and then moved across the road, which was at the back of Mad Harry's, and operated from there till 2001. Had another fire, unfortunately, when not had the best of luck.
Wow.
Yeah, total destruction again, not being good. And it was really devastating family-wise. People say, it's the typical insurance job and burning the shop down and typical stuff. Yeah, just what you hear. And I can assure you, it definitely wasn't good times growing up. However, hit the road for 3 years. My father did as a mobile showroom, and in 2004-ish, or maybe 2006, opened up a shop on the corner of Kent Street and Freeman Street. It used to be a shop called, I think it was Nobby's Toy Shop. And then you had Wallpaper Warehouse. It's opposite the new YMCA, and we was there. And that's when I joined. So I've always been in flooring all my life. Been born into the business. I was a naughty kid, so I'd be the person where the nanny would quit. It was because of me. Me and my 5 brothers, I'd be the naughty one. So my mum had enough and decided that after school and summer holidays, I'd live in a carpet shop. And that's where I was all day, every day. And I saw
it's in your blood.
It's literally my life. And that's why it's not work for me. It's born to do it. It's my passion. It's my hobby. It's all I know. And hopefully that shows in what we do, to be fair. And and in 2014, me and my father had a conversation. I'd set up my online business by then in 2010, runrug.com. And went on my own way for a bit. And my dad said, look, I'm not getting any younger. I can't run the business from the grave. People always wonder, I've got, obviously we employ, it's my father and I are joint directors and my brothers work for the business. Although that's it on paper, but in reality, that's not kind of how we run it. And people was like, well, why is it you? Why is it not the other brothers? And the truth is, I genuinely deserve my position. It's not, yes, I'm my father's son, but and my brothers would say this as well, like I am the right person for the job. So he was like, look, I'd love you to be the MD of the company. So I said, yeah, that's absolutely fine, but I need 51%. And he's like, why? I was like, because you're my dad and you've always got the golden vote, because I've been brought up very well, I'm very respectful, and I will always listen to my father regardless. So, but I thought psychologically he knows that actually when it comes to it, because I had a lot of ideas when I worked in 2006, but I was too young probably. My dad knew best. I'm just nothing. I'm just his son, and I know what he knows. But then there's this balance, and this balance you can see it very slowly tipping, and it tipped in my favour. And in 2014 took over. We had 81 page likes on Facebook, And obviously I'm young at the time. I was 28, I think, 27, and I knew Facebook. So that's when we began. And the Telegraph gave us a picture of me and my brothers outside because we didn't want to do under new management. We thought, let's change the feel of it, and rather than say, just pushed our dad into a cupboard basically. And my neighbour came to this picture, and then I learned about Facebook, how to boost, and my brother said, "Oh, I said, "Oh, look what I can do. I can have this picture to anyone I want." And he's like, "Well, can you do it to females?" I can go even better. I can do females who are single and interested in men between 18 and 30. He's like, "Do it then." So that's what we did. A bit of a joke, and then we got loads of likes, shares, comments, and the rest is history. But our turnover very quickly doubled, and then trebled and quadrupled, and now 22,000 likes later, all pretty much local. We've built a great business based on reputation in the heart of Freeman Street, where it's all soon to be happening, all being well. And that's it in summary.
That's absolutely fantastic. And what a wonderful story that you've taken, a family business that's had turbulent times as well. And you've grown it to what it is, but you've stayed exactly where it was in the beginning. You've not had to move out of Grimsby. It's wonderful. Yeah. Such a great story.
They say so third generation leader, apparently they do one of two things. They either literally drive it into the ground and ruin it, or they take it to the next level. And I think I was actually aware of that beforehand, and that's, failure is obviously not an option. I was never going to do that. My father and people before me have sacrificed far too much for me to throw it away. So I'm just carrying the torch, and I'll pass it on to the next person when the time's right.
So is there the next generation that are coming up then through your family?
Yeah, so we've got a lot of grandkids, but more importantly, for me, it started as family. But my father always ran the business as more of a lifestyle business. It was literally to put food on the table for our family. Mm-hmm. Whereas it's bigger than that now. We employ nearly 40 people, if not more. I don't actually know the numbers at the moment. They're rapidly increasing. I think it's about, at COVID, it was about maybe in its 20s, and now it's 40. So, we're at a point now where I believe the future leaders are probably not even going to be family. And I'm fine with that because I'm not that precious. I think sometimes you can try and say, no, it has to go to so-and-so. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you're in a bloodline or not, it'll go to the right person. But the company's grown at such a rate. We're trying to get a structure ready now. So the next future leaders, they'll have to start somewhere. It could be someone now who's just joining us. It could be someone who's not even born yet. I'm only 34 years old. I'd like to think I've got quite a bit of time left, and we've got a great team of people around me at the moment. So there's not really the pressure from my point of view to try and push it to someone else, basically.
Yeah, to identify who that person is. Yeah. But what an exciting place to be. That you imagine what you can actually deliver to the company in the rest of your working lifetime. Fantastic.
Well, here's something for you. 10 years ago, I was working for my dad, working 6 days a week, 8 in the morning till 6 o'clock every day, coming home with headaches on £286 a week. And 10 years later, we're literally heading towards 10 million quid as a company.
Wow.
And it's all from one thing, and that's just hard work.
Hard work.
Basically.
You're a big advocate of that, aren't you? And you're an incredibly positive person, but you also do a lot of self-development, don't you? Which I think is a big part of the success of the business.
Yeah, no, it is. Again, I can only go back down to, I believe you have to know where you've been in order to know where you're going.
Yeah.
And that's what I always do. So I look at certain things that have happened with my father. And he got to the point one day where his business, he always tells me about the good times. And I'm sure there were brilliant times. He's never really told me about the times and how it went bad. But when I joined, it got to a point where customers weren't coming through the door. So he was doing the same thing. He was putting an advert in the paper. He was putting posters on the windows, but people weren't coming in. And it was in the recession 2009 where it really stood out to me. And I realized, actually, my dad just stopped learning. He didn't do anything wrong. He just stopped learning. And then he didn't know what the new thing to do. How do you get business in? So you can't, if the time to learn, if you are like, wow, I should have learned that, it's too late. So therefore, I'm just never going to stop learning.
So what's your interaction been like with eFactor? What journey have you been on with us?
So my first journey was receiving some cakes. And the cakes actually at the time were through the Business Hive / eFactor.
Yeah.
And I won an award. It's the first award I've ever won. It's actually up there. I never played football as a kid, didn't do any sports or anything. So genuinely the first thing I've won. It was the Young Entrepreneur of the Year award when I was 29 years old. And then and that was something I was nominated for. I didn't go in for it. And then I got some lovely cakes and then went down to the Business Hive / eFactor. And the first thing I noticed is the support that was there. Everyone incredibly friendly. I always thought business was boring and the people associated with business are boring. And like typically I'd say to the kids, it would be someone who would be a lot older in a grey pinstripe suit and wouldn't be able to relate to business. And then obviously my business journey started when I was young, but it was 23, you could say I was a business owner with my online side. But really, I think I came into my own. I think when I got that award, I realised I'm not just my father's son. I haven't just won this award because people say, oh, you've been given this, you've been like silver spoon or whatever else. Yeah. And then I thought, actually, yeah, no, with the eFactor and Business Hive, it's a great network. The amount of people that I've met. I was actually speaking to Simon Dwyer the other day, and I couldn't actually remember where I met him. I'm almost adamant it was through the Business Hive in eFactor. There's no doubt about it. And the majority of people I've actually met in Grimsby in business, it is through eFactor. So for me, that's been a massive part of it, to be fair.
We've developed a fantastic network, and it's really nice that you can recognise that as a business owner. And we really are the place to go for help and support. And I think new entrepreneurs that are coming up through in our town will aspire to be like yourself. So it's great that they know that you had that interaction with us at the same time, that they know that the help is there for them.
Yeah, I mean, recently we've been in between different offices. We need private meeting rooms. We've come down to the eFactor and we've used the rooms there, which are great. Obviously, you've got the lovely cafe next to you as well. Also, recently, through COVID, there was a gentleman who reached out to me, wanted some help and support with making visors. Had nowhere to be and to make them. Needed some funds, so we helped out and donated some money. And whenever I'm in need, I'll make a special phone call to Mark Webb, and if he can't help, no one can help, and he absolutely did do. He gifted this, I guess you could say, this entrepreneur a place on eFactor Village, and brilliant. So yes, it's not just necessarily helping us as a company, but you'll find at some point along the journey, you do come into action. You're probably a conduit in a lot of things, to be fair.
Yeah. That's a really good description of it, actually, and it's fantastic. It does make you very proud to be part of something like that, because you can see that the impact that it has on the town and the business community. That brings us nicely actually onto I was going to see how COVID, the pandemic, has affected your business, because it's not all doom and gloom, and we do have some fantastic businesses in the town that have managed to diversify, pivot, and have moved forward during this. So how has that affected you?
So absolutely been the hardest year of my life, without a shadow of a doubt. It's been a complete and utter roller coaster, and I think every business owner, I'm going to focus on business owners rather than employees. Everyone's been affected by this, but when you're a business owner, you've just been landed with, on the 23rd of March, a lifetime of business issues over a period of basically a week or two. And it was incredibly difficult. I spent most of my time looking for all the legislation, trying to read between the lines. Even the local authority, they was amazing, by the way. We've got the government grants, ASAP, it was a godsend. Furlough was a godsend. And that gave us lifelines. That wasn't a silver bullet to survive COVID, but it's how you use those lifelines. So the first thing was, how do we survive? How do we protect all the team? We really wanted to make it meaningful in every action that we was doing. So if we're going to do this, why? If we're going to do that, why? So anyway, our staff felt really protected. We stood by every one of them. Hopefully the customers did. And we had to shut our shop overnight. So really panicky. There's a lot of pressure on my shoulders. There's a lot of mouths to feed. Wake up for myself, I wake up for 40 other families. So we looked at what we had, and for the first 3 months, we didn't really do much revenue at all, to be fair. We couldn't do. The first lockdown was really hard. And then we adopted, we was working in the background on our Facebook store. We was really trying to understand how we can kind of cope on a sort of skeleton shift. And we brought people furlough one by one when we was at stretch point. So we went back to basics. And I'm not going to lie, like it caused some internal issues a little bit, because I pretty much furloughed everyone. It got to a point where I was surrounded on maybe the Friday by a massive team of people that I depend on. 2 days later, furloughed pretty much every single one of them, and I was on my own. Yeah. And I respectfully did the right thing. No emails, no phone calls. Furlough is furlough, because I understood reputation is key. And it goes back to when I was a kid. I've grown up at school having people say horrid things about my family or my father. And as much as it might have been fun having fights now and again, ultimately, I don't want any of my kids or any kids of anyone that works for me to ever be embarrassed about where they work. Yeah. So it was that reputation. And it was just so important that we got it right. And off the back of that, we've actually had some really, really good sales. So after the first lockdown, I mean, actually, ignore all the bits in between. It's to tell you where we are now. Our revenue now is higher than it was pre-COVID. And last year, in the financial year, 5 months of that was during COVID, we was 3% up. So yes, we had 3 months of no revenue. Then we started to claw it back. We made sure we had loads of stock. We had loads of fitters. We had loads of vans. We had loads of equipment. We then started to realise we've been affected by COVID. We've been positively affected by COVID. Yeah. But that's not great. It's been terrible. I think we looked today and we've spent 150 grand, again, I don't want to be honest, on getting our structure right and our foundations right with GCW because of how we've been affected. So we've had to get loads of rack in, we've got 2 forklifts, we've got a scissor lift, we've got more vans, we've got more fitters. So we've actually found ourselves, on the face of it, okay, it's great, revenue's okay. But we've now had to dig deep into a lot of our funds and find funds to keep it going, because we can't take orders away, because you've got 3 types of companies now. You've got, in the flooring especially, you've got one, like us, where we've innovated, we've changed, we've found new ways of working, and we're doing well, whatever well may be. You've got the other companies that have stayed open, and they're trying to get by, and I'm sure they're doing fine, but they're just literally getting by. And then you've got other companies which have decided to close for whatever reason. Well, that's fine, and everyone's got the reason for doing whatever, and that's great, but we're still open. So if someone's wanting a carpet or any flooring, and they'd normally go to another shop, well, they're coming to us now. Now, they might not come to us ever again once people reopen, but that's our time to shine. And if we can grab some market share, fantastic. And if not, they've used us, they've seen what we're about, and they've gone back to where they normally go to, and that's equally fine. So it's been a good year, a hard year, but yeah, it's had a lot of knock-on effects, which haven't always been that positive, to be fair.
But it's, there's a great positive story there, that you've actually been able to reinvest, employ more people, and grow your business at the same time. So that's fantastic, whilst upholding your reputation. So, yeah. There's a lot to be said for that. So what does the future hold for you and your business?
It's going to definitely transform. I don't really want to give too much away, but in terms of where we are now, we've launched our new house build division in November of last year. A lot of business, so all the new houses that you see for all the regional, national house builders, all of that work, normally speaking and typically speaking, will go to companies outside of Grimsby. They'll go to companies in Hull, in Lincoln. The reason being is because the companies in Grimsby just don't have sort of the capacity to deal with the volume, and that's what we've been building. So we're going to be pushing hard to try and win as much work possible for every new home, so which is going to come to a local business. So the profits that we make will go back into local causes, employing local people. So that's a new house build. Commercial, exactly the same story. So we're now getting lots of work on the commercial side. So for offices, safety flooring, hospitals, schools, warehouses, factories, all work that would go to Hull and Lincoln companies. Now it's coming to us, and we're trying very, very hard to do so. So I think the focus for us really is trying to maintain the level of professionalism that we always are, try and be forward thinking, and try and look for opportunities and where we can help out locally. A massive thank you to all the customers that have supported us through the pandemic. For some reason they're choosing to use us, which is great. We're very good at what we do internally, but we also try and get reviews from all the customers. So we're trying to really push hard and understand from the customer, what do they want from us? What can we do? How can we improve? How can we be better? And maybe, just maybe, no guarantees, but if we diversify in other products, if we're good enough to be in your home, to fit your flooring, and if you love what we're about and our reputation, our standards and values, then why would you not maybe buy another product from us, which maybe is not related to flooring? So yeah, we've got a brand, we've got a name. We were Grimsby Carpet Warehouse. We're now GCW. And where we go from here, I'd like to think we're 75 years old this year, and I would like to think, or last year, we couldn't celebrate it though because of COVID. So we're hoping to
have celebrating this year.
Okay, here's something then. Taking a bit away from business. In the future, I'm going to make sure that we push hard as much as we can to create as many local events for our staff, for maybe our customers, our clients. It will help on any sponsorships, because the norm, for me, the definition of normal is when you're doing something the same for a long period of time. And I think now we've been in COVID for that long, it's now the norm to sit at home and do nothing. So I want to push as hard as we can in the other direction to remind people that you can have fun. So a good summer party, I would love that. A big Christmas party, some collaborations with any local companies out there. Any of you watching this where you want to do the same thing. Like, I think collaborations are what's so important in local business. And the more we can collaborate in the future with any business, and that could even be a competitor, we're not really that bothered. We echo, I guess, your Burger King when they're doing their, okay, you've tried our burger, but try others. I think it's a nice thing that they did there. It's the same thing. We sell flooring, other people sell flooring. We do a good job, they'll do a good job. The only differences are the organisation, and it's the small things that you don't see. But yeah, by all means, we'll happily collaborate with any company in Grimsby. I think the better we do, the better everyone else will do. And there's so many people that want people to fail, and we want people to succeed, because the more people succeed in Grimsby, how can that be a bad thing for the area?
Definitely, and it's a huge part of our community, isn't it? It's what we're all about here. So yeah, fantastic. So how do people connect with you? How do they find out more about you and about your businesses?
My current active profile is LinkedIn, so linkedin.com/Miles Shaw. I don't really post a lot at the moment. I'll do a quote that my mum sends me every day. She, bless her, love her very much, and she tries to mould me with these lovely quotes, so check them out. She genuinely sends me about at least 10 a day, and I just try and pick the best one from them. And then GCW, Facebook, GCW Flooring. You've got Instagram, GCW Flooring. Twitter, we don't really use too much, GCW Flooring. A big one for us moving forward, TikTok. We're busy in the background. And again, so go back all the way to the beginning about learning. I don't even use TikTok. I don't even get it. I see my daughter's on it, and you need to be aware of what's coming. And TikTok for us is something we're going to be pushing on really, really hard on that one. And so that's how you can really connect. Our website, gcw.uk.com. Our showroom is going to be opening from the 12th of April, I believe. And we'll probably be working on an appointment only basis, because we are still in your safety is our concern. We never know which way it's going to go with COVID. I think expect the unexpected. That's the only thing I could say on COVID. And then you can call us on 01472 344 861 or connect with me on LinkedIn via direct message.
Perfect. Thank you ever so much. That's been so interesting, Miles. It's really great to hear all about you and your company's history and the journey that you've been on. And we wish you so much success for the future. So thank you for taking the time today.
Appreciate the time, Rachel. Thank you.